Hello everybody. What we are looking at today is the Twosun knives TS244. I've done a video on this knife before. For whatever reason, I called it the T244, I believe. Now that first video, the knife I was looking at was not my own. It belonged to a good friend of mine who sent it out to me to check out, and I immediately fell in love with it. Immediately wanted one. And so I started looking for one, asked my buddy to keep an eye out for one as well, and sure enough, he found one eventually, maybe a month later or so. Popped up at White Mountain Knives, grabbed it right away, and I've been carrying it since I got it. I've had it maybe about 3 weeks now. It's a fantastic little knife. This knife, again, this is made by Twosun Knives. If you're not familiar with Twosun, they are a company out of China. They've been making some fantastic knives for the past few years that I know of anyway. Again, this one is the TS244. Go over some specs here. Got a visitor there. Now this knife again, Twosun Knives TS244. The overall length of this knife is 6.54 inches, looking at a blade length of about 2.60 inches. Blade thickness is, I think it's, what is it? Let me look here, 0.122. Handle length is about 3.82. The blade material is M390. Should state that on this side right here. M390. You're looking at carbon fiber scales, titanium liners in there. The hardware itself is stainless steel. That is the designer, their logo, I guess. I couldn't find too much info on the designer. I did find their name. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to butcher that. But again, now the knife itself is listed as 1.76 ounces. I want to say it was a little bit lighter than that, but I'm not 100%. Now it's very well made. Again, carbon fiber scales, M390 steel, has this nice fuller, makes it easy for finger flicking. Obviously didn't demonstrate that very well there, now did I? But here we go. It's got jimping up top for flipping, right? This could be a pretty fidgety knife if you treat it right, I guess. I like it a lot. Very lightweight, just disappears in the pocket. Cuts great, came razor sharp. Let's see, maybe, yep, still shaving sharp there. We'll do some size comparisons here. Let's take a look at, I guess, a couple of knives that are very comparable in size, weight, blade length. First up is the Kaiser Feist. Kaiser Feist it's actually the exact same weight. I did a test with that with my friends, and without the clip, it's the exact same weight, which is around 1.76 ounces. Very similar blade length, handle length. Just very good comparison because it's, like I said, very similar size knife. It's Kaiser Feist. Another one we have here is my friend's. This is going to be the Benchmade 945. Another great comparison as it's very similar in size. I haven't weighed the 945, but it's probably pretty similar in weight. Perhaps a little bit heavier since it does have an axis lock, and that's going to require a little bit more material. It has a clip on it again. It's going to add weight. But otherwise, I mean, that's pretty close, pretty comparable in my opinion. Check out the carbon fiber on this 945. Now this is not the factory scale, but whoever made this scale did a pretty decent job. From what my friend told me, it came pretty rough, but he cleaned it up and it looks money to me. I'm not sure how bad it was when he initially got it, but it does look pretty darn good in my opinion. So that's the 945. Let's see. We have here the Kaiser bag lighter. Now this is the full-size bag lighter. This is the first generation, I believe, with the VG10 steel. So you can see obviously there, bigger knife, longer handle, longer blade. What else we got here? We have, let's look at one of my favorites, Spyderco Smock. Again, bigger. But you can see I kind of dig this blade shapes. Spyderco Smock, fantastic knife. We'll look at a Civivi Hadros here. Again, similar blade shape. Not that far off as far as blade length. Handle length obviously a little bit larger. But pretty similar style blade. You can see that's kind of my jam obviously. We'll look at a couple other ones. Here we have one of my pride and joy. This is the Chris Reeves and Cosi, the Chief, if you will. So, obviously, significantly bigger. But that's the Chris Reeves and Cosi, the large one. Lastly, we'll look at what I kind of feel the TS244 reminds me of anyway. I'm not sure if this was necessarily what it's inspired after, but it just reminds me of, the TS44 reminds me of a modern day version of this beauty right here. This is the Great Eastern Cutlery it's a Great Eastern Cutlery Viper, the number 47, obviously with the Wharncliffe blade. So these are similar in my opinion. First off, because they're both, I guess, slip joints. In a matter of speaking, the Twosun again has a double detent system, so it's a little bit different as far as the way it closes and opens. What you'll hear commonly with traditional knives is, how is their walk and talk? The walk and the talk, right? So you'll hear that when you're talking about the quality of traditionals, I guess. So it's obviously a little different. Then you got to pull this one open, kind of a two-step process, right? Walk and talk, right? The Twosun, however, again, it's got this fuller, it's got the jimping for quick deployment, right? So modern day slip joint, because you just shut that close like that. So yeah, in my opinion, modern day slip joint. Newer materials. Got some wood here, carbon fiber here. 1095 steel on the GEC, M390. But again, this is just a great knife. Fell in love with it the moment I got it in hand. So light, so usable. Lockup is solid, no complaints there. No blade play. Very well made. Twosun knives, TS244. Kind of hard to find, but you could probably keep an eye on White Mountain Knives. Hopefully they'll get more in stock. You'll see them every now and then on eBay. Twosun sells directly on eBay. Their methods are a little bit interesting. You can research that yourself, but they are available on eBay. Not all the time, but that's where you will find them. That's where Twosun directly puts their knives out. And like I said, White Mountain Knives does get them as well. But lastly, I love this knife. I think it's just beautiful looking knife. Mine is a little scratched up already because I have been carrying it, like I said, for a few weeks and been using it, so that's the compromise. But I love it. I think Twosun is doing some great things. They're making some nice knives, some premium materials. So yeah, there it is. Twosun knives, TS244. It's a great knife.